Viewers, Japan is a country that is always remembered for its unique ways. Let's find out what are these unique things that are found only in Japan. Number 1, we have all heard of hot steam bath or cold bath. Have you ever heard of noodles bath? If not, then today you know that it is very common to talk about noodles and pork soup in Japan. Japanese people believe that bathing in noodle soup is very beneficial for the skin. Number 2, normally, a menu card is given in restaurants all over the world in which the name of the dishes is written in text format, or at most their photos are printed. But Japan is also the most different in this matter. Outside the restaurants in Japan, fake food is made and kept in the showcase so that the customers are attracted from the outside. These fake meals are made of materials such as resin and wax, and they are more attractive than real food, and it costs more to make them than real food. Number 3, by the way, you must have heard of Kit-Kat chocolate. In fact, many of us must have tried its almond flavor, but do you know that there is a long list of Kit-Kat chocolate flavors in Japan? The most popular flavors in this list are Kit-Kat chili pepper makai soya bean watermelon mango and Kit-Kat green tea flavor. Remember that this is only a small list of Kit-Kat flavors, which is very popular in Japan. Number 4, because Japan is very small in terms of its population, that's why they are used to adjusting to less space. They had become so used to optimizing the spaces of their homes, rooms and shops that even the round watermelon kept in the fridge did not digest it when it took up more space. In 1978, a Japanese graphic designer introduced the first cube, i.e. square-shaped watermelon. Everyone liked this idea so much that the farmers started growing watermelons in special containers. This not only saved space to transport the watermelon, but it also fit easily in the fridge later. Different shapes were also given to the watermelon for decoration. Number 5, you must have seen many staff workers doing routine checkups at railway and subway stations, like checking the joints and suspension under the train with the help of a torch to see if they have separated. Similarly, at subway stations in Japan, staff workers have a unique job. They are called people pushers. Yes, their job is to push people before the train door closes. The people pusher's job is to push people and push as many passengers as possible inside so that the inside of the train can be utilized. Number 6, in our country, it is very common for the train to be late. In India, trains are averaged 53 minutes late, while in Pakistan, trains are usually delayed by 2 hours. But we also see this in many advanced countries like Germany, France and the US. In America, long-distance trains are delayed by 49 minutes, while in Germany, trains are usually delayed by only 6 minutes. But Japan is Japan in this matter. Japan has also taken a stand because trains are delayed only by 54 seconds despite being only a few seconds delayed. There is also an issue of a train being late in Japan. Yes, if you are late for an important meeting or office due to a train, then you get a certificate from the railway that you can deposit in your office. Number 7, in Japan, a unique method is used to save water here. The sink water in the toilets does not go straight into the gutter. Instead, it goes into the toilet tank, and in this way, the same water is used twice. Number 8, now comes the most interesting thing, which is only noticed in Japan. In almost every country, it is considered bad to make a sound while eating or drinking tea, but in Japan, it is completely opposite. If someone does not make this kind of sound while drinking noodles or soup, then the chef thinks that maybe he did not like the food. This sound, which is called slurping, it is often used in Japan to praise the chef. Number 9, in the culture of Japan, the whole effort is made to avoid number 4 because they believe that number 4 is very unlucky. That's why everything that comes in number 4 is avoided. In Japan, there cannot be guests in any event. The table of the restaurant is not 4, rather, it is in the arrangement of 3 or 6, and even in Japan, the elevators do not have a button on the 4th floor. Number 11, mayonnaise is used with sandwich, burger or fries all over the world, but Japan is the only country where mayonnaise is used as an ice cream topping or as a pancake topping. Number 10, it is considered very strange to sleep on the working table in the office. Often, such people are either made fun of or they have to endure the taunts of the boss, but Japan is the most different here because doing this in Japan is considered to be a sign of hard work. Number 12, in any corner of the world, there are only 3 colors of traffic lights: red, yellow and green, but Japan is the only country where blue lights are seen instead of green. The secret behind this is hidden in the Japanese language. In the Japanese language, the word blue is used for both blue and green. Earlier, green was also used on traffic lights in Japan, but they called it blue. But then in 1973, To meet international standards and to reduce this confusion, they decided to put a color between blue and green on the traffic lights. And now number 13, we have eaten alone in restaurants many times, and maybe this practice is very common all over the world, but if you don't want to eat alone in a restaurant in Japan to get rid of your loneliness, the management also has stuffed cartoon characters which can be erased by placing them on the front seat. As you can see in this photo, number 14, baby crying festival. Friends, no matter what child in the world, he cries dozens of times a day. When children cry, the parents start getting worried and they try everything to keep the child quiet. Especially, the moms spend the whole day to keep the children quiet. But what if the children are deliberately made to cry so that they can win the competition of crying? In Japan, such a weird festival is organized. Every year in April, there is a festival in the Sensuchi Temple, in which sumo wrestlers pick up children and try to make them cry. Number 15, in Japan, you don't get a round shape, but a pentagon-shaped orange. This fruit is called Gokaku no Alakum. They are grown in Yawadahama, Japan. Their shape is not unique. In fact, the people there eat it with good luck fruit. Whenever a student has to go for an exam, he eats this orange so that he passes. Gokaku no Alakum means sweet smell of success in exam. According to them, after eating this fruit, success is guaranteed in the exam. By the way, this fruit is not natural. Number 16, if you give a tip to someone in your country, then he will be happy. But if you give a tip to a waiter in Japan, then he will get angry. In Japan, people consider taking a tip their insult. Japanese workers are very hardworking compared to other countries in the world, and every customer is satisfied with their service. But they do not like to take this tip at all. A simple thank you is enough for their service. If a tourist gives a tip to a waiter in Japan, then they take it, so that he does not get hurt. While these people do not take any tip from their people. Number 17, this movie, a giant lizard destroys the whole city. Its size is as big as a building. Of course, it was a fiction film, but the people of Japan have taken this movie a little more seriously. First of all, you will be surprised to know that Godzilla was first made in Japan in 1954.